when we think of goddesses, we usually picture someone serene, beautiful, maybe a little gentle. But what if the divine was also fierce, terrifying even, and totally unpredictable? Well, today, we're going to dive into a group of Hindu deities who are exactly that. And in the process, they reveal something absolutely profound about reality itself.
And this quote from scholar David Kinsley, man, it just cuts right to the chase, doesn't it? These are not your typical gentle deities, not by a long shot. They present this vision of the divine that's fierce, it's unconventional, and, yeah, at times it's pretty unsettling. It makes you ask, what could we possibly learn from a goddess who's a widow or one who decapitates herself?
So to really understand these powerful goddesses, you have to go back to where they came from. And like so many great myths, this one doesn't start with some big cosmic war. Nope, it starts with a family drama that just escalates into something that changes the entire universe. Okay, so our main players are Sati, a seriously powerful goddess, and her husband, the great god Shiva. Now, their relationship is key to this whole story, but it's actually a fight with Sati's father that really lights the fuse for this incredible transformation.
So, Sati's father, a guy named Daksha, decides to throw basically the biggest party in the cosmos, a huge ritual sacrifice. And he invites every single important god and goddess, everybody, except Sati and Shiva. And this wasn't an accident. It was a very deliberate, very public, and deeply personal insult. And Sati was, to put it mildly, furious. Now, even with the insult, Sati felt like she just had to go. But Shiva, he knew it would only end in disaster, so he told her no, she couldn't. And that was the final straw. All of Sati's rage, mixed with her immense divine power, just couldn't be held back anymore. This wasn't just simple anger, it was a universe-shaking force that was about to be unleashed. And this is where it all just explodes. Sati's fury bursts outward, and she manifests 10 terrifying, awesome forms of herself. She completely surrounds Shiva, one for each of the 10 cardinal directions: north, south, east, west, all the points in between, and even up and down. He was literally trapped. He had no choice but to finally give in to her will. So, who are these 10 incredible forms that just erupted from Sati's anger? Well, they're not just random bursts of rage. They have a name, and they have a profound collective purpose. They are the 10 great wisdoms, also known as the Mahavidyas.
The name itself, Dasha Mahavidya, is a huge clue. It literally translates to the 10 great wisdoms. So that tells us right away they aren't just goddesses of power or fury. They are living, breathing embodiments of deep cosmic knowledge. And together, they represent every single aspect of the divine feminine.
And that right there is the key. This group contains the entire spectrum of reality, the beautiful and the terrifying, the creative and the destructive, the peaceful and the absolutely wrathful. They embody the whole shebang, from one extreme all the way to the other. All right, so to really get a handle on their scope, we've got to start with the goddesses who are the most challenging, the ones who represent the darker, more difficult parts of life. Okay, look at these two. On the left, we've got Chinnamasta, who cuts off her own head. But here's the thing, she's not dying. She's using her own lifeblood to feed her followers. It's this incredible symbol of ultimate sacrifice, and the idea that life and death are just one continuous cycle. Then, on the right, you have Dhumavati, the widow. In society, a widow might be seen as inauspicious, but here, she's a great wisdom. She teaches us to find truth in the things that get cast aside, to look past the surface. Now, leading this fierce sisterhood is probably the one you've heard of, Kali. She's the original force of time, death, and destruction. I mean, she's the one who exists before the universe even begins, and she's the one who's going to be there to see it all end. I know she looks absolutely terrifying, but stick with me because every single part of her image is just packed with meaning. That garland of skulls, you might think it's just gruesome, but it actually represents the letters of the Sanskrit alphabet, the very building blocks of creation. The severed head she's holding, that's the death of the human ego, something you have to let go of to reach enlightenment. Her sword is the razor-sharp edge of knowledge that cuts through all illusion, and her dark skin shows that she is the ultimate reality, beyond all form, before time and light itself. Kali's power is just absolute. There's this one famous story where, after she wins this huge battle against demons, she starts a victory dance that's so wild, so powerful, it literally threatens to tear the entire universe apart. The only way the other gods can stop her is for her husband Shiva to lie down beneath her feet. When she realizes she's stepping on him, she finally calms down, and in doing so, saves all of creation from her own incredible, unstoppable energy. But Just when you think you have the Mahavidyas figured out as this group of terrifying goddesses, they completely flip the script. We're leaving the darkness of the cremation ground and stepping right into the light of a lotus pond.
And you really have to get this to understand the whole point of the Mahavidyas. For every single fierce, destructive goddess, there is an equal and opposite force representing everything that is gentle, beautiful, and life-giving.
And here is probably the biggest surprise of all. The 10th and final Mahavidya is a goddess that pretty much everyone knows and loves, Lakshmi, the beloved goddess of wealth, prosperity, and good fortune.
So in the Mahavidyas, she's known as Kamala, the lotus goddess. And she is the absolute embodiment of grace, beauty, wealth, and everything auspicious. She is the complete total opposite of a goddess like Dhumavati, the widow, or Kali, the destroyer. And yet, she's part of the very same group. So, what is going on here? We have the fierce and the gentle, the terrifying and the beautiful, all in one sisterhood. This brings us to our final and most important section. What is the ultimate truth that they're all trying to show us? I mean, this is the question, right? Why put these goddesses together? What's the logic behind a divine council that includes both the old crone from the cremation ground and the jewel-covered queen of abundance? It seems random. And here's the answer. It's so simple, but so profound. The Mahavidyas are not a random collection. They are a complete picture of reality. They teach us that the divine isn't just in the good stuff, the beautiful, the pleasant, the orderly. The divine is also in the chaos, in death, and in decay. To truly get it, you have to embrace all of it. This is why they're known as awakeners. Their whole job is to shock us out of our limited, comfortable little view of the world. They're designed to push our consciousness beyond what's predictable or socially acceptable so we can see a bigger, more complete truth. And that's really the takeaway for us, isn't it? The Mahavidyas challenge our modern habit of only wanting comfort and avoiding anything difficult. They teach that real wisdom, real wholeness, comes from being able to face and find value in every single part of life, especially the parts that scare us. Ultimately, the 10 great wisdoms leave us with this radical proposition. Maybe the path to enlightenment isn't about ignoring the scary, ugly, or chaotic parts of being alive. Maybe it's about looking them straight in the face and realizing that they too are a part of the divine dance.